today we're looking at a new affordable Imaging Newtonian that we've just introduced. It's a StellaLyra 4.5 inch f4, quite quick, carbon fibre tube, so stable, Imaging Newtonian. And the smallest in the range, this one, the 4.5 inch, is only £299. So I'm keen to give it a go. I've bought this for my own money. There's only 5 of these in circulation at the moment. I think we put them up on the First Light Optics site just over a week ago, and all 5 have sold. I believe there's already a review of this out there. I think it's Scotia Astro did a review about 2 days ago of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this downstairs, put my GoPro on my head so you get a first person point of view of checking this telescope out, and we can talk about the pros and the cons of it. That is quite light, so the official weight is 2.8 kilograms, but we can go and pop it on some scales to check that. Yeah, I make it 2.71 kilograms, so it's about 6 pounds in weight. The collimation screws on the back are nice and flush, so you don't have to worry about popping it down and disturbing collimation. So it is very much all about the focus of this, isn't it? It occupies quite a large amount of the telescope because the telescope's so small, the 4.5 inch mirror. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. So it's a parabolic mirror, so the primary and the secondary have 94% reflectivity. As mentioned before, the secondary mirror is 41mm on the minor axis, so it should illuminate a 27mm diagonal APS-C size sensor. Let's have a look at this focuser. So when wrapped in, it does bite into the mirror, but it just depends what position you have this when it reaches focus with a camera. So we'll look at the focuser. So it's rack and pinion, dual speed. That feels nice actually. There's a lot of travel on it. There's a nice flat base there for putting an EF bracket. And there's the 2-inch to 1.25 inch adapter there as well, so you could use 1.25 inch eyepieces with it, or take that out, pop a coma corrector in and use a camera. There's a compression ring on the 2-inch as well as the 1.25 inch, and there should be a focuser lock. Is it the top one? Yeah. One thing you might have noticed is it hasn't got conventional rings on it. It's got rings right at the end attached to a very long dovetail bar. The dovetail bar runs the entire length, and it's a solid bar, good quality bar that, and that measures 14 3/4 inches or 35 centimeters. So that's going to allow for balancing quite far up and down the tube to get your desired balance. Now, because this is very focuser heavy, if you have it in that position, try and hold this securely, if you have it in that position and that's looking at your mount and telescope from the front, you've got a third axis of balance there. So ideally you'd have that swung round underneath, but you can't do that with that very long dovetail bar, so you'd have to if I undo these, I think the next best thing would be to turn it like that. So the focus is sitting on the top, like so. Hopefully it focuses when that draw tube's a bit further out. I think that's your best bet. It's going to add length, so there's going to be more of a moment arm when your mount's sort of swinging around and stuff, but I think it's better than having it off to the side and then a camera hanging off it. There's two others in the range. There's a 6-inch and an 8-inch model of this. This is by far the cheapest at £299. The other two, I think it's like £699 and £899, but I'll flash those up on the screen. They differ. They're a bit more traditional in that they've got normal rings, and so you'd be able to hang the focuser underneath like you'd want to if you're imaging in a lot of cases. And they have the wider Losmondi bar, and also they have got baffles inside, whereas this much more budget friendly version is just darkened inside, and it's quite dark in the tube. It's not super dark, but it's quite dark. The mirror looks mint, center spot looks mint. It looks like it's etched onto there rather than just like a sticker that's stuck on, so hopefully it's super accurate. And you'll note that the spider vanes are CNC machined, so it's going to be really stable with those spider vanes and the carbon fibre tube in terms of thermal stability, and hopefully collimation as well, because collimation drift in F4s, fast F4 Imaging Newtonians is a thing. So yeah, let's have a little measure of the tube as well while we're at it. So the tube is 15 inches long, or 38.5 centimeters, and the diameter, if you want to put a dew shield on it or something, it is just shy of 5.25 inches, or 132 millimeters to be precise, or 13.2 centimeters. The focal length for this is 456 millimeters, so it's got a similar kind of focal length to a short tube small refractor. So on the bottom we've got a 1/4 inch thread there, so I could pop it on. You could pop it on a photographic tripod if you wanted to. There's a 1/4 inch right in the middle there. What we've got at the top there, they look like 1/4 inches at the end as well. And there's slots. The bigger versions, the 6-inch and the 8-inch, have a top rail as well for attaching a guide scope, etc. So I want to check that it's collimated out the box. If not, we'll have to tweak that up, but I'd rather do that on a star initially rather than mess about with it and then get it out and realise I've made it worse. So I'll star test it first before I even touch any collimation, and we'll have a look and carry on investigating it. Right, so I'm really pleased that I've got my hands on one of these. There was only 5 of them initially. I've grabbed one of them, and yeah, it's going to form a part of my imaging setup for the coming year. I just want to say a big thank you to my channel members and my patrons for all the support you give the channel, and I hope to see you guys and girls on the next video.